What's going on, coders, and welcome to episode 3 of our Drive service playlist on the Google Apps Script course. In this video, we're going to be utilizing a web app to explore the concept of files. So files within Google Drive is actually quite an extensive topic. There's a lot of things that you can do with it. However, I picked out my top 7 methods for today, and they are get files by name, get files by type, create file, get URL, get download URL, and finally set name. So let's boogie on over to the code and have some fun with these methods. In this video, let's imagine that we are a back-end programmer assigned the task to make this web application work. So first things first, let's check out what our front-end programmer has left us. And because this episode does not pertain itself to front-end code or client-side code, I'm not going to be spending too much time going over all the ins and outs of how this operates. If you'd like, I'm going to be pushing this code to GitHub, which you can pull from and play around with it a little bit more yourself if you'd like to have a deeper dive into it. But for now, let's just again give a high-level overview of it right now. So here is our HTML document. As you can see, we are including a CSS, an external CSS file right here within these little scriptlets. And then we also have a heading. In that heading, we have an h1 title tag with the text content of Puppygram. We have a file input tag, a button tag, a horizontal rule, and then finally a photo container that's currently empty. We're also including our external client-side JavaScript down here below. So let's see how all of this is rendered. Actually, before, let's go check out our CSS. I'm just going to be quickly scrolling through all of this right now. If you'd like, you may pause it to get a longer look at how this document is stylized. But again, let's just go back into our HTML and then actually let's go into our web app right now just to see how all of this is rendered. So we have our title right here, Puppygram. We have a file input button right here. And then also we have our add photo button right here. But there are no photos currently on our Puppygram. So let's say that I wanted to input some files or I wanted to display some files on my Puppygram, and I have those files stored on my Google Drive. So if we go into the folders that we created in our last episode, let's go into profile pictures. As you can see, I have 6 different photos right here that I'd like to display on my Puppygram. So how do we get these files right here onto this Puppygram? Well, let's first go check out our client-side JavaScript. Again, don't worry too much if you can't understand all of this. For now, that's not the topic of this episode. But again, let's just go over this quickly to provide some context. So we're saying that once the DOM content has loaded, so basically once the page has loaded, then run this function right here, which is a google.script.run function. We've seen this in a previous playlist. So we're going to be running the server-side function getPhotos. So currently that function is empty, but we're going to be writing code in there momentarily. Alright, so after that has successfully run, then we are going to run the client-side function display photos, which is defined down here. So let's see just the structure of this function. So it takes in something called a URL array, and then we're going to be looping through all the URLs of that URL array. We're going to be creating a new image element. We're going to be assigning the source of that element as the URL, as the certain URL in our URL array. And then we're going to be appending that element to our photo container. So let's go now and start writing some code on our server side. So if you remember, this takes in a URL array. So that's the first thing. Let's return URL array. And we will define that really quick. We'll say URL array. And we'll define that as just an empty array for now. All right, so first things first, we need to get the files off of Google Drive. So how do we do that? Well, there are actually many ways to do that, and I'm going to showcase some of them right now. So one way we could do it is we could say driveapp.getFolders by name, right? And then we could pass in profile pictures. And then we could say .next to get our folder. And then with that folder, we could just use the method getFiles. And this will return for us a file iterator which has a reference to all of these files. And that would work totally fine. We could totally do it that way. Another way we could do it is to say get files by name. But actually this would not work in our use case, because if we go back into our Google Drive, as you can tell, all of these files have a different name. We could rename all of them so that they have the same name, and then that would cause this to get all of the files. But that would actually not be wise, because we want a way to differentiate and identify all of them as distinct photos. And one way we could do that, again, is by the title of the photo. So that would actually not work, or that would not be best for our use case. But what I'm actually going to use is this method right here, which is called get files by type. So what this is going to do is it's going to get all the files by a specific MIME type. And as you can tell, all of these photos are JPEGs. So that means that if we add any other files that are of a different type, that are, say, of a text type, or any other type that we want, it's only going to get us the JPEGs from this folder right here, profile pictures. So let's go specify that MIME type right now. We'll say MIME type.jpg, and don't worry that there's a little E in there. That's fine. It's going to get all of these the same way. All right, so now we have that. So let's store that in a constant. We'll call it file iterator. Oops, iterator. All right, so as we've seen from our iterators playlist, what we need to do now, or our iterators episode, is that we need to cycle through all of these. We'll say file iterator dot has next, and then we'll open up the while loop. We'll say file iterator again, and then to get the actual files from our file iterator, we need to type in the dot next method. But this is just going to return for us the file itself. How do we actually get the URL from this file? Well, there's actually two methods for getting URLs from files. One is get URL, and the other one is get download URL. So what's the difference? So get URL is actually going to come in here and get, let's say that we were coming in here and we wanted to get the URL of this sheet right here. So what that's going to do is, let's say we want to distribute this sheet's URL to a bunch of people, we would use the method get URL for that. So get URL is going to get us the URL of the file that's on Drive. But that's not technically what we want, right? So if we go into our profile pictures and we click on this image, we do not want to actually get this URL right here. We do not want to send our viewers of our Puppygram to our Google Drive. We just want to get the URL of the photo itself, not any of this Drive stuff, just the photo of the URL. So while I use get URL quite frequently for other use cases, it does not apply in this use case. So I'm going to say get download URL. But this is actually not sufficient. We actually need to change it a little bit. We need to change this URL a little bit more. And that is because we are not trying to download this, this photo right here. We're just trying to view it. So within the URL, I'm going to replace the download parameter with a parameter called view. And that should do the trick. So let me just store that in a variable called download URL. And actually, I'm going to define that up here. I'll say let download URL equal an empty string for now. All right, so now that we have the download URL, we need to push it into our URL array because it's empty right now. So we'll say URL array dot push, and then we'll say download URL. Alrighty, so let me just put a carriage return right there. Alright, so now we're going to return our URL array, which has all of our download URLs in it. So if we save this now, and we refresh this page, then as you can tell, all of our photos are now displayed on our Puppygram exactly how they should. So that is pretty dang cool. It went into the Google Drive, it got all of these photos, it got all of the URLs, and then it displayed it on our Puppygram right here. So that is one part of this this episode. Let's say that now we got all these photos. Let's say that we wanted to now upload photos, right? So let's say I take a quick snapshot of my puppy and I want everyone to see. And so I'll have to upload that photo to my Puppygram. And the way to do that is to, again, choose a file and then add that photo. So let's go into our client-side JavaScript for now. So all of this bit right here involves itself with the upload process. So again, don't worry if you can't understand it all right now. That's not the purpose of this video. But basically, we're going to be making a file reader, and then we are going to be once a file has been loaded, we are going to be getting that array buffer. Right, we're going to be reading it as an array buffer, and then we are going to be getting the result of that, and then basically storing that in an object, and then we're going to be passing that object into our server-side function upload photo. And then once that has run successfully, then we're going to be running this this client-side function display photos again. So as you can tell, we are going to be needing a URL array again. So let's go into our episode 3 .gs server-side file right here. So let's create a file. So again, to upload a file, we need to create a file on our Google Drive. So the way to do that is to say Drive app. First, let's get into our appropriate folder. So I'll say get folders by name, and I'll say profile pictures. Great. So I'll say .next to get the folder, and then I'll say .create file. So there's actually 3 different ways we can create files. We can create it directly from something called a blob source. Again, this is a binary large object. We can create, if we have, say, a text file, we can define the name of that text file and then also the content. And then if it's, say, like an HTML that we want to specify that it is the MIME type is HTML, we could use this right here, this method right here. But for my use case, I'm actually going to use the blob source. So we have this, we need a blob right here, right? So how do we actually pass in a blob? We need the blob. Well, we need to actually make a blob. So if we say utilities.new blob, there's a lot of different there's a lot of different ways we can create a blob, right? We can create a blob from an array, a byte array. We can also create a blob from just a string of data. But for this use case, I'm going to create it from a byte array. And not only that, but I'm also going to specify the name of that blob, and I'm also going to specify the content type of that blob. So if I go right here, let me, so the data is actually, again, this needs to be an array of bytes. So if we go back into our client-side JavaScript, as you can see, we are actually getting that, we are converting our event.target.result into an array, and then that is going to be our bytes right here. So all we need to do is access that object, and then the bytes from that object. So if we say just something like E, we can say E.bytes, and that is going to be our array of our array of bytes. So the content type is going to be a JPEG, so I'll just say MIME type.jpg. I'll say the name is going to be E.filename, because if you remember from our client-side JavaScript, we are actually storing that photo name right in here, the file name. So I'm just accessing that right here in our name. So this is going to be our blob. I'll store that in a constant called blob. And then I'm passing that blob into our create file. So what this is going to do is it's going to create for us the file within our Google Drive. And then once it's in our Google Drive, then as we've seen before, we can access that very easily using the get photos method. All right, so let me now just put some semicolons, and what I'm going to return is actually, I'm going to return that photo that we just stored within our Drive app. So let me say const, and I'll say file equals this, and I'm going to return, again, we need to return an array, so I'll say file dot get, basically we're going to be doing the same process. So I'll say file.get download URL, replace download with view, and that should work. Again, if you remember, we are running this same function, display photos, so we need a URL array, and that is exactly what we're doing here. Anyways, let's now save it, and if we refresh this page, if we now choose a file, let's say we want to choose this one right here, we'll say open. All right, there it is. And if we now hit this add photo button, then it's doing its magic in the back, but here it is right here. Here is our new photo right here, and it's displayed on our Puppygram. If we go into our Google Drive, as you can see, it has been loaded right here and stored on our Google Drive. So that is, again, pretty dang cool. We are using this Google Drive basically as our back-end storage solution for our Puppygram web app. So that is really cool. There's just one more thing that I want to showcase before I wrap up this video, and that is how to set the name of a file. So I'll say function set name. I'll just do this real quick. All right, so let's say that we wanted to now set the name of this new image right here, so that it could be named Duke 6. So I'm just going to get the name of this right here. It's image 6235. So we need to say drive app.get files by name. We'll say image 6235. And then we'll say .next to actually get that file. And then the way to set the name of it is to say .set name, and then we'll say Duke 6. That will be the new name of our file. So now if we select a function, we'll say, oops, actually we need to save it first. Set name. Let's run it now. And oops, iterator has reached. It's probably because we need to actually say .jpeg. All right, so if we hit save and we hit the run button, then if we go into our Google Drive, as you can see, this file right here has been changed to duke6.jpg. So that is how to set the name of certain files. All right, guys, I know this was a lot of content, and if you need to, feel free to replay this video or check out the code that I'm going to push on GitHub momentarily. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. They really mean a lot to me, and I'll see you in the very next episode.